Hey, we've returned with Escape from Dino Island. And let's go ahead and try that, shall we?
To escape.
Escaping. Yeah. I need to check something. I'm trying to figure out, when does the game want us to escalate to finale? Yeah. Oh yeah, both obstacles. Right. Okay, of course. Yeah. Need to figure out who sabotaged your mission and why. Okay. Let's keep moving here. So you guys make it to the radio tower. We see the three of you creeping up the stairs. And yeah, Kurt, you need like frequency related sound equipment and things to make this bomb work the way you want it to. So scavenge is likely what's going to be rolled here. Who would be telling our story here?
So we've followed him.
I assume so.
Well, it's like we were. Well, he would have explained it. It's like we're so close to getting out of here.
Yeah, I mean, and Brad could still plan on just like hitching the helicopter right out or whatever, but I figured it made more sense than having a bunch of like, what do you mean there's a dinosaur that can talk to you with his mind? We just skip ahead then, just like
okay, that's fine.
Assume that like you guys have had the long conversation it would have taken to figure all of that out. But yeah, I mean, totally happy if you want to show us like part of what Brad is feeling about the situation right now.
I imagine that it's something along the lines of like, no, we should just go and get out of here. But then he explains like this would screw over the scientists and people who are trying to get us to get stuff off of here. And I'm like, okay, if you want to kill all the dinosaurs, I guess I'm down for that.
Yeah. Need to stop them at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once Kurt explains that basically if you leave, your worst nightmare will come to pass, which is heavily evolved dinosaurs will just start rampaging through the earth. That'll probably be something where like, even if I leave, like I can't escape this, so we must deal with it at its source. Yeah. And like this game does not care about like rolling persuasion checks or convincing people of anything. So I think we can just skip ahead through all of that, right? Okay, cool. So who would like to tell their story? And I'm assuming all three of you are helping search through the radio tower. But as we've previously established, we want to give everybody a chance to do some stories here.
And what are we rolling for?
You're rolling scavenge. And I think Kurt has a 2 in it, but since he's full up on stories, I'm giving you 2 a chance, and whoever wants to do it is fine.
I have an idea for a story.
I think you both have +1 in clever, so.
I think as he's looking through stuff, it's like, you know what? When I get off this island, I think I'm about adventured out. You know, when you've spent a year of your life running from dinosaurs, fighting for your life, even if I did want to do adventures, everything would feel mundane after this. And honestly, I could go for some mundane right now. Sitting on the couch, watching. Actually, no.
Yeah, I think maybe you even see like there's a couch up here, and it's like pointed towards a little like old TV or something, right? And but obviously none of it's working.
Like sitting on a couch, watching I Love Lucy.
Right. Or Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was out.
True. This part, no, at this point, would you say Scooby-Doo?
I'm done with talking animals.
Like, yeah, Kurt suggests. He's like, "What about Scooby-Doo?" He's like, "No more talking animals."
I'm done. Probably not. That's like, I'm done with animals.
Never again. The next time I see a pigeon, I'm shooting it.
That is what I will do differently when I get off the island. And I'll roll with scavenge.
Do it.
Okay.
All right, you'll find something handy, but you make a lot of noise. You can pretend no dinosaurs heard you if you want. So you guys are picking through the radio tower, and Kurt is pointing out like all the different things that he needs, and you guys are finding it. Brad, you're like just more skilled at scavenging anyway, so it makes sense that you'd be kind of taking the lead on with Kurt's direction, like where to find such things, right? But eventually, you've been hearing the Xenosaur below the radio tower, like tromping around, doing its thing. Because you obviously couldn't go up the stairs, so it just waited down there. And then about the time you guys are making a lot of noise, you're picking through stuff. And then I think we get a moment where you guys hear, let me see. There it is, yeah. Yes. You hear I think the Xenosaur just I think it's made a bond with you, Kurt. And so it just projects its thoughts into your mind and it says something is coming. Something very bad.
I think Kurt goes, would that something be a dinosaur? Or would that something be something more with more technology involved?
And you've just about finished the sentence when you hear the sound of shouting below. Human shouting.
Well, I'm glad I've got a dart gun.
Keep it away! Keep it away from you! Make sure it doesn't come near you! Shoot to kill! You hear the Xenosaur go. What do you guys do?
You said that we don't have roles to convince people, right? So can I just say, no, it's cool, guys?
No.
I used my terrible stench, right?
I think you used it twice too, so I think you're
okay.
out.
Because I realized it's still on my character sheet.
Can I try and help get X out of there by going, X, they're shooting, I'm scared, help me.
What does your move say again? What is it?
Oh, it's another hero.
Hero. Yeah, it's not just any NPC. Yeah.
X is a hero.
Yeah, but he's not a capital H hero, unfortunately.
Ugh. Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, clearly, we're going to have to call in DMX for this one.
Yes, Jordan.
Yeah. I just tell X, go give it to him, little boy. So now X is going to give it to him.
Were the people in DMX even alive by then? At that point?
No, they were not born. So this is like this is Jordan making this joke.
Okay.
This is not in canon.
So you hear fighting below. You can just let X get killed by a team of professional.
Is he really going to get killed?
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, you know what? I know what to do.
Okay.
I'm going to do look over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to basically be like, not this, don't worry, look, we've got this handled, look at that, and point at the massive ones.
Oh, I don't think they're nearby.
Are they not big enough but we can see them from here?
I was exaggerating their bigness. They are not actual Tarrasque's heights. It was just fear adrenaline response as you looked at them.
Okay. Well.
But you can still roll it as long as you have an argument for what you're going to do.
Yeah. Can I see any other dinosaurs around?
Let's see. Distraction. I don't know how you could create a distraction even if there were other dinosaurs around. I don't think you see any.
Can I create a distraction?
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Instead of look over there, be like, look over here. And to me, to be like, my name is TJ. I'm 8 years old. I'm scared. I want my mommy and daddy.
These
Yeah,
bullets are terrifying me.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah. They hopefully someone down there isn't heartless, right? And
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and roll clever. Ooh. All right, apparently they are heartless.
Do I take the hit for my friend?
Yeah, what do you think?
If I do, I die.
Yeah.
Can
Oh
I?
no.
Is it too late for me to intervene? Because I do have an idea now.
We do have to resolve this
Okay.
somehow before you can do anything. Right, so Kurtz was like thinking there, like, what do I do? And then TJ just yells out that. And either like if you take the hit, they're gonna like point their guns towards the radio tower and just start shooting wantonly. They're like, there's someone in there. It's mimicking a human voice. Kill it, right? and then you'll probably get hit by bullets and die. Or yeah, you can
Maybe
it's
X
still a miss,
plays the
but-
real hero and takes the bullet.
Well, that will happen no matter what, because she failed, right? But she can choose to take the hit instead. Like that's inevitably what's going to happen here. Is he just going to get shot a bunch of times?
I mean, I'm 8. I don't really know if I understand the concept of sacrificing myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like sacrificing yourself isn't actually sacrificing yourself, because either way, if he's going to get hit, you're not saving anything if you get shot too.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm
No,
saying that
I
you can
think if
shoot him
I
instead.
did get shot, like I would
Yeah.
save him.
What I was saying is like the miss means here, unless he does that,
Yeah.
the
I
dinosaur
see.
is getting shot.
It makes sense that they would ignore a kid.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting shot for this dinosaur. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It wants to die anyway.
I'm 8.
Yeah, so I do think that like the Xenosaur gets shot full of holes, but like it's not dead yet, right? It's getting injured. And yeah, Kurt, you have a moment to save it from like actual death here, but it's no matter what, he took a bunch of bullets.
Yeah.
What do you think? Or Brian, you
we're
can do
up
something.
on the tower, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you're like too far up, but yeah.
But we're high enough up that if something were to fall from the tower and land on them,
Sure, you could play Ewoks and Return of the Jedi.
and I'm thinking like I have stuff in my toolkit. Can I just like basically undo some of the tower to make some of the tower fall on them
With
and
you
crush
in it?
them? I mean, some of the like it'll like the idea being that it's going to make the tower less stable. So
I
we
still
don't have,
know why this is a good idea.
because it removes the danger of bullets.
Yeah,
Bullets
and then you
kill.
die. Yeah, and then you die because the tower collapses with you in it.
But I'm saying that it's less stable, not that it's like permanently like. Or,
Right,
well,
but then
yes,
what would
it's
that
permanent.
accomplish if it doesn't just fall on them? And then also kill you in the process.
I'm saying part of the tower falls on them because the tower has supports, right?
Yeah.
If some of the supports are gone, it's probably not going to immediately all fall down.
You're
it
really
might
riding
not.
a dangerous line there, but I suppose you could try it. Another thought I had was like you could like if there was any heavy equipment in here, you could shove it down on them.
Is there any heavy equipment in here to do that?
Sure. Yeah, I think so. It was a radio tower, right? Bunch of radio stuff.
Or if there are
Generator.
any guns or grenades or any military stuff up here.
Oh, I don't think there's any of that. No.
Okay.
But yeah, you could throw stuff down at them, or pitch it over the side.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's our best option.
Brad, do you have another idea?
I was thinking of shooting at them with my
Trank gun.
Trank gun.
gun. Could I throw something at them with my Trent gun? Just do it. Actually, I'm really bad at steady. What is the attack move?
Fight is just you get a +1 if you have a weapon.
Okay, I have a weapon. I mean, that's one of my better rolls. Yeah, I was just planning on shooting someone with my trank rifle.
Okay, keep in mind, on a miss, you die.
On a miss, I die?
Yes.
Even if at a distance?
They have guns. Like they can just turn and shoot you.
I mean, with my luck, I will die. Trying to think of something I could even do.
So doing something more like Jordan's idea, which is like, tossing things over on top of them and like crushing them and stuff. That's more like I think it's hold onto your butt.
Okay, so that's
that
not considered fight. That's different.
I don't think so, yeah.
Okay.
But if you're like shooting them with a weapon, that's fight.
Okay, well, I'll throw things at them from above.
Sure, yeah, let's do that. This is probably Brad rolling though, Jordan, because you have a -1 in fit.
Yeah,
I assume.
please.
Hold on to your butt.
Yeah. There you go. You succeed, but you're exhausted. Take -1 to your next roll with fit. Yeah. So yeah, Brad. I mean, I think what happens, you like lug a giant generator over the side, right? you and Kurt. And yeah, you like crush a few of them, and it gives the dinosaur just the edge he needs to like scare them off, and like they rush back into the forest, like retreat. One of them glances up at you and squints, like thinks he sees something in the tower, and then shakes his head and runs off. But yeah, like you maybe get down to the bottom of the tower, and Dino is full of holes. His breathing is labored, dripping blood.
Well, I would like to take like some supplies from the radio tower. If there's any medical things, then great.
I think didn't you grab medical supplies from a different place at some point?
Yes.
Someone should have.
We got stuff from the lab at some point.
I don't see it on anyone's character sheet, but
well, because we got it because that's how
we're fixing an injury. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was never explicitly stated that you took it with you though, or that there was enough that you could take more with you. So
TJ did use a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he overused.
I'm
the
8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a giant dinosaur. I don't know even if you did have medical supplies, I'm not sure what you could do for him.
Well, my other thought was like basically 1, try to take out the bullet. 2, bullets. Try to take out the bullets. 2, cauterize the wounds.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's too many wounds and he's too big. Like, I don't think you would have to take a lot more time than you have to do anything that would manage to do anything. So I think his options here are like stay here and like try to recover, or keep pressing on with you and definitely eventually die and have to sacrifice himself in some heroic manner. That's narratively, I think those are the two things that we're going to.
So we wait here and then get attacked by something else and it dies anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
Or we continue on and he dies anyway.
Yeah, I think it's the clock is ticking unless you can somehow get him off the island, still alive. Right?
He's not gonna come off the island. He doesn't want to.
Yeah. I think he tells you as much, right? He says, "Don't worry about me. Keep going. I will follow if I can."
Well,
I think he also says, "This is no worse than any of the tortures I have suffered from your kind. I can endure it one more day."
Guilt trip, why don't you?
I feel like I'm watching Ferngully all of a sudden. Or one of those other 80s, 90s environmental hazard movies.
Yeah.
That are just talking about how crappy humans are. Look at how we're polluting the environment. I'm watching Captain Planet. That's
yeah. You guys press on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kurt, as you were fiddling with your radio stuff and making your way towards the helicopter rendezvous, you do manage to get some of it active again and manage to try to. I assume you do this. You can let me know if you don't. You can patch yourself into that same military frequency you found earlier. Would you like to do so?
I feel like the risk is they find out that we're here and that they detect the signal.
I don't think that's possible, or at least it's not likely. Just like tuning
But
in.
also, don't they already know we're here?
I think they already do, right?
Like,
Yeah.
they're the ones that we're about to call for pickup.
Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and patch in, see what I get.
Sounds good. Let's see. You hear. So actually, I think one of the other things you found in the radio tower was something left behind by U.S. military guys when they were scrounging around, and it was documents that basically said it's a case of documents that has redacted logs and progress reports. One intact sheet lists a secondary mission directive, specimen retrieval, primary, contingency sanitation, secondary. Specimen retrieval, primary, contingency sanitation, secondary. And as you are tuning into this frequency, you hear a encoded message being sent. And the parts that you catch are, it seems like it is someone in a helicopter, getting ready for takeoff. And basically, it says, let's see. Yeah, they basically say, like, we're heading for the extraction point. And you're guessing it's probably not for you, but for whatever that team of soldiers that you just saw was, maybe, right? But either way, there's like a helicopter en route, so you might be able to, you can intercept them at the rendezvous. But then you also hear them use a code, some sort of like, okay, and once you arrive, if the others show up, then execute some military code here, and you're like, that sounds familiar, and you like flip through the documents you found in the radio tower, and it's like a kill code, right? It's like, do not let them leave this island.
I'm 8.
Yeah, they don't know about you, but
That's no good.
do you guys approach the helicopter rendezvous?
Do we have another option?
Nope.
Okay, wait.
Let me ask the question again. How do you approach the helicopter rendezvous?
Should I just go out first?
Innocent kid, yeah.
I'm 8.
What if I can patch in and disrupt the signal, or like give the helicopter and the helicopter probably not is. I probably can't give them a different signal to expect, but maybe I can give the other one, like this other group.
This group of soldiers.
That was just shooting at us.
Mhm.
Give them a different signal and say something like, hey, we just got new orders from command. We actually need to take them in for questioning.
Good idea.
Who are you telling this?
I want to tell this to the group of soldiers that the helicopter people just said, hey, kill on sight.
Okay, keep in mind that as far as you can tell, they're using the same frequency. So both groups are going to hear this if you try to patch it in.
So I can't figure out a way to patch it in and block the other one off.
Given how radio works, probably not.
Yeah, it's not really.
I can't really think of a way you could, right?
Mm-mm.
Like, it's just it's a frequency, and you send an audio signal through that frequency, unless they're using a different frequency, or you force them to somehow. I don't know how you would do such a thing, right?
Well, basically, I'd have to. In one direction, I'd have to block the frequencies.
It's not how radio works.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works. Yeah.
We'd have to have a separate jammer, and you'd have to know which way they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's beyond the scope of what you have, either materials-wise or tools-wise or time-wise.
Okay, well, how about we speed up the process? Let's just all jump off the tower and die now so we don't get shot later.
Yeah, again, and there's other ways you could approach this. You could hide nearby and wait to see what happens. You could try to intercept the soldiers before you get there and try to negotiate with them somehow. You don't actually know what their particular mission is here. Maybe there's someone there you could talk to.
How about I shoot him with the flare gun?
Yeah, you could kill one maybe. Shoot him in the eye. You could also just X could just charge in with his last breaths.
I mean, it's not like we have any other options.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's probably our best option.
You also, yeah. So I guess part of this is like, one consideration is, can you get to the rendezvous before the soldiers do, or before the helicopter does? Like, timing here might matter as to who arrives first at this spot. Yeah, what's your plan?
I think riding on the big guy is our best option.
Mm-hmm.
One last act of defiance from him.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that makes sense to me. And he already said as much. Like, he's like, I can take it. Don't worry about me. Cool. Do you want to try to get there before they arrive, or ambush them at an appropriate moment? Because your main goal here is to get the helicopter, right? That's the big thing. As long as you can get the helicopter, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I feel like we should try and get there first.
Mm-hmm.
So that maybe if you still have trank darts in the rifle, we could at least get into the helicopter.
Well, if it doesn't work, I die is the problem.
Well, we're all kind of at that point.
If you're shooting a dart at an unarmed pilot, that's different than
okay,
right?
Yeah.
Than fighting a soldier with a tranquilizer dart.
Well, because one wouldn't be fighting; it would just be
stealth
do
move,
it. I think.
Or yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you can get there with your dinosaur pal. You can get there before the soldiers or the helicopter arrives. I think it's an airstrip, I believe. Let me check what the game tells us about this. I think this is one of the locations that you can have. See what it says. Oh, this is the wrong direction. No. Could have sworn there was a helicopter rendezvous or whatever. Probably this is the equivalent of open ground. Maybe. I can't really see a better option here. I think at one point it was itself a helicopter rendezvous point or an airstrip of some kind for the complex. And this is where there's a road between the radio tower and the helicopter, the spot, the rendezvous point. You follow that road down and you make your way to, or maybe you just go through the jungle because to avoid the soldiers, because they're probably taking the road actually. And you make it there in advance. You see an open ground right now. It is inhabited by some Pachycephalosaurus type dinosaurs, right? Kind of herbivorous, kind of duck. So some duck-billed dinosaurs and stuff like that. They're kind of grazing around. They do seem agitated though. A couple of them butt heads with each other and kind of they seem agitated. So you could wander in there with the Xenosaur and try to scare them off, which probably wouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, what's your plan here? Neither helicopter nor soldier has arrived yet.
Can you make I was gonna say, can we make another bomb?
Can I take my radio and jury rig something so I can throw it in an area that I think the soldiers are going to come from, and then make the dinosaurs kind of go over there and be interested in that, so that hopefully dinosaurs and soldiers kind of meet up. And
Say that first part again. I think you missed
so
something.
I have this radio still, right?
Yeah.
But I need do I need this radio to create?
Not this particular radio, no.
So
You got plenty of radio equipment and stuff from that place.
So can I take this radio and rig it up in a way that or even just like throw it in an area, turn it on, and make these agitated dinos go and be distracted by it, go in an area where like the direction that we think the soldiers are going to come from, so that the soldiers
could attempt some sort of trap. Yeah, I think probably what it would be is you would have to set the radio somewhere like the direction you think the soldiers are going to come from, and then activate it once they get there, and then it would have to be the frequency that like makes them angry, and then the dinosaurs would come over and attack them. That could be, yeah. I could see that how you could pull that off. Probably a jury rig.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, there we go. All right, so you set up this plan. You wait, I assume, in the jungle for the soldiers to arrive, and then you set it off. And yeah, I think certainly it's a distraction, right? I think eventually these is just herbivore dinosaurs, like they're gonna shoot them all and scare them off and spook them and stuff. But, one of the soldiers pulls out like a rocket launcher and kills one of them, like, and then they all run away. But like you have time to do something. What do you want to do? Make the helicopter? I think you see it starting to arrive, but the timing is going to be kind of close on this distraction. What do you think? What's your plan? Wait till the last moment. Rush out.
Yeah, we'll definitely wait for the last moment because we don't want this to go off and we don't want the dinosaurs attack until the helicopters basically touch down.
Yeah.
Because we don't want the helicopter to get sketched out and fly away.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do think that, like, the soldiers are moving past the point where you... Yeah. Basically, I'm just saying, I think the timing is not going to be as ideal as you wish it would be, just because of reality. But there is a window in which the helicopter is starting to touch down. The soldiers are still finishing off and scaring off the rest of the dinosaurs that you might be able to rush forward.
I have an idea. We could run, and I could tell us. Well, actually, no, because that's a safety move we have to do.
Yeah, you can't do any of those yet. You're in peril again.
Could we just run to it and like?
I mean, I think we have to just run.
Yeah.
I'd tell a story if I could, but I can't.
So as it stands right now, Kurt succeeded on that move. He did distract them. I think you can, if you wanted to, you could ride X all the way there.
Sure. I like that.
I think you could probably just do that, right? I don't think you have to roll. Like, the X is doing the work.
Okay.
So I think we see Giant Xenosaur stumble out. Like he's really getting worn down here, but he does get you across the field. But probably what happens is he's almost there, and the helicopter pilot is like, "What do I do? What do I do?" Like he's talking to it. He's like, "I have to leave." Like into the radio, like, "Get here right now! I have to leave! Right? And the soldiers are trying to like rush forward. And then one of the soldiers does I think we see the commander. You guys haven't noticed this yet, but we as the audience see that commander who like wished you well, pushed you out of the helicopter or the airplane in the first place. And he like waves a hand over to a soldier, and the soldier gives him like a big huge caliber rifle, and he just like sets it up, takes aim, and they're across a big field, but he like takes aim and then just shoots one huge like bullet into X's side, and he just tumbles in the grass, right? So now you have a much shorter distance that you have to cross to the helicopter, but you will still have to do, like, it's up to you now. What do you guys do? Just run for it?
I think we have to run.
Because otherwise, I mean, the soldiers are going to probably try to start shooting at you now too, right?
Yeah, we're on.
All right. Jordan is all you, buddy.
Finally die. Oh.
Incredible. All right, you escaped to a safe location, right?
How is it that he has a low run and he survives, but every time I have a low run, I die?
And I'm not entirely sure that run night might not actually be. No, I guess it would be the move. This thing about like you escape to a safe location, you know roughly where you are. It doesn't seem quite what's happening here, but you do successfully cross the distance and get to the helicopter. You will still have to deal with the helicopter pilots and stuff, right? Like,
we're in a safe location, as in they're not gonna shoot their helicopter.
yes, exactly. The soldiers are not going to shoot their
throw
helicopter.
Charlie on them.
You've cut up. Yeah, that's true. You cut him out, right?
I have my hunting knife. I can just threaten the helicopter pilot, say, "You're getting out of here." And then it just turns out that TJ just randomly knows how to fly a helicopter.
Of course I know how to fly a helicopter. I'm 8.
So I do think.
Wait,
real quick.
wait. If we get into the helicopter, and that means we're in a safe place,
Mhm.
that means I would be able to do a safety move with a
Uh-oh.
story I tell, correct?
Well,
Oh,
so
no,
this
I
is the thing.
froze.
I do think
Oh,
that the
no.
run
Okay.
move is overplaying
Which-
our hand here.
Which a story I could tell is an explanation of something baffling to adults, which would be how to fly a helicopter.
As cool as that is, let's take it back to step back here. I think the run move here is overplaying our hand a little bit. You're still in a helicopter with hostile soldier, like army people. Like they're you're not just. They're not just gonna lift off and take you where you want to go. You're not in safety yet. So I think it'd be most thematically appropriate for as cool as Brad's explanation of what he's doing is. I personally think this is the coolest thing to do. I do think that Kurt should just like get in there, have Charlie in his hand, and then be like, "We got you the dinosaur you wanted," and just throw it at them. Right? I'm trying to think what role that might be, but it might just be letting Charlie do his thing.
Nature finds a way. That's the role.
Yeah. Let me see what do these dinosaurs have as their moves here. Oh no, that's not it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so it is just one of them. So like the best he can do is like distract them, right? He's like an annoyance, right? He's like biting at us, and the pilots are kicking. They're trying to reach for a gun under like a pistol, but the thing is like getting out, like biting his arm. So now would be the time for Brad to rush in here. What do you do?
I said I take the hunting knife and I say we're leaving.
Okay.
The pilot.
Yeah.
I have a Swiss Army knife and I threaten the other one.
Sure.
This is not. This would be steady.
I'm trying to think what move this is. Yeah.
Fight?
Yeah, probably just do it. I don't think you're actually fighting yet. They don't have a weapon out. I'm okay with you rolling. Just do it, Brad.
I knew it.
You gonna fail? Oh no. Okay. Well. I think he gets his.
Pilots?
I think he gets his gun out. I will say that like I don't think the miss here is he shoots you and you get a wound and die. I think at this point you do have to roll fight, right?
Can I roll to fight this guy? Said I was ready.
I think you're struggling with the other pilot, and the other pilot is like not wanting to hurt you because you're literally just a kid, but he's just like get off of me. But yeah, Seth, I think this guy, this pilot pulls a gun and is pointing at you and trying to shoot you. Roll fight now. If you fail this one, you do die.
It would be fitting, given everything else that has happened.
Wait, I'm.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say, wait, I'm struggling with the other pilot,
What?
which
Yeah,
means I can go.
I understand that, but like this was a resolve from like we had to resolve this from the move that he made. Like, yeah. So yes, on a miss, apparently it didn't log what the fight miss is on the roll 20 there. On a 6-, make the casualty move. Sorry. So go ahead and roll that or no, it's not a roll, but when you're grievously hurt or take an injury, you're in bad shape, tell someone your darkest secret or unfulfilled hope, then choose one. You get one final heroic act subject to the DM's discretion before you die. You're out of commission, you're unable to do anything, but your character will survive. The others can get you off the island in time. This might be the time to choose that one, right? Like you got shot, but you're like still alive in this helicopter, and if they can get you off.
I'll probably go with that. I mean, it's either that or like
Like the other option would be like the guy is shooting indiscriminately and the other pilot has gotten a hold of TJ and TJ is in trouble and you save TJ at the last moment, right? Which also seems likely. Either of these is fine with me. It's up to you.
because the thing is, if I don't attack one of the pilots, it's more likely that this isn't going to go well.
Yeah, because what will happen basically, if you choose to get one final heroic act, these pilots are done for, right? You will kill them and they will be taken care of. If you choose to be out of commission, TJ and Kurt and Charlie will still have to deal with the pilots.
I'll take
But
out
also, if you take out the pilots, will we be able to fly this helicopter?
TJ will have to roll his move where he can do anything to try to fly the helicopter.
If I'm going out, I'm at least taking NPCs out with me. I'll take out the pilots.
Oh no!
It does seem like a really good moment though, like because this whole time you've been struggling with like I really want to get off this island, but also you have been helping TJ at every turn, right? You've taken and maybe here you know what you need to tell us your darkest secret or unfulfilled hope. I'm thinking the unfulfilled hope is you wish you had a kid. And you never had one, right?
I'll go with that.
Yeah, and you see TJ as like the son you always wanted, and you like save him in your last dying moments.
That's why when he calls and says he needs help, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, and no, Brad, you know what it reminds you of? It reminds you of your younger brother.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds you of. TJ is like Greg at that age when you were like a little bit older than him. Or maybe a little bit younger than him or whatever, but I don't remember the exact relationship between the two of you. But yeah. Okay, cool. So you want to describe to us how you epically take out these two pilots before you die?
I get shot, but what happens is I hold the knife to him. He pulls his gun out. I stab him as I'm getting shot, and then I go to protect TJ and stab the other one in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And like tumble out of the helicopter.
Right. Yeah, just like grasp at your bleeding chest and then
Probably what I do is like I go and like grab the edge where like people like grab on the helicopter and just fall out.
Nice.
At least go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, so the helicopter is careening wildly at this point. TJ.
Well, it's on the ground. Oh wait,
no, I think it started taking off, right?
Oh,
because as soon as you guys like were running towards the helicopter, like they're going to be like, no, like start to lift off. And I think like the pilot was trying to get the helicopter into the air as you guys were, because it's more dramatic this way. As you guys were wrestling with them. So TJ, do you suddenly know how to fly a helicopter for some reason?
I sit in the pilot seat. I crack open my can of soda I've been saving this whole time. Take a sip. Let's do this.
Just like my T16 back home.
And then I have to roll just do it.
Indeed.
Which is not great. I have a -1 to this, which is why I was like, maybe not the best move to just take out the helicopter pilots. Maybe we still need one, but okay. Mild success!
I am so glad that happened. Okay, on a 7-9, you slipped, hesitated, or cut corners. The DM will offer you a hard choice. I don't know. What do you guys think? What makes sense here is like a hard choice where like TJ slipped, hesitated, or cut corners somehow.
Either the helicopter crashes or we have to throw out enough weight to make it not crash, and my character has to get thrown out.
That makes no sense.
They lose Charlie on the way out.
Maybe, I don't know, Charlie. I feel like Charlie needs to survive this. I do think like because your plan here is to get this helicopter to across the island, right? You need to get to that ruin. What is like a complication to that?
Other military, like the military, like tries to check in and both the pilots are dead, so we can't respond properly.
I like that. And then there could be a okay, yeah. We'll start right there. TJ, you hear on the radio, this is aircraft carrier USS whatever checking in on your rendezvous with Team Beta or Team Bravo. Please come in helicopter 3.
Okay, get the radio. Helicopter 3. Successful rendezvous with Team Bravo. We got the goods.
All right, go ahead and roll Just Do It, TJ, to see if you can fake being a military dude.
Mild success.
Amazing. Yeah, so this is like a temporary fix, I think, right? Like, I do think that, like, technically this aircraft carrier is like offshore and has anti-aircraft guns and could probably just try to shoot this helicopter out of the sky if you got high enough, which you will at certain points. But for now, they're just confused. They're like, that didn't sound like the person they expected, but you said all the right words. So they're like, okay, sounds good, right? No one has suspected that something's wrong yet, but it won't take that long.
Like, why would they have said we got the goods? It doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Yeah, a little informal there, Sergeant. Right. But yeah, you guys helicopter away. I do think the soldiers take a couple pot shots and maybe like we get a ding across the hull of the aircraft of the helicopter, but you do not get shot down. Maybe we see a bullet rip through the gas tank, and it didn't blow up anything, but like it starts to leak, right? And you guys haven't noticed this yet?
Okay, that's an additional complication that we did not get in our rolls, Caleb.
Well,
we already did all of our complications.
You might have enough gas. It's just possibility down in the future.
Oh my gosh. If you wanted that to be the complication, I shouldn't have had to roll for the radio.
I would rather do that complication, honestly. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with negating that roll. That's more interesting. Okay, so I do think what we see is we see the commander step out into the field and just watch the helicopter fly away. He has a pistol in his hand. He walks over to Brad's choking body. You're still alive, slightly. He walks over to you and looks down. He says, "You. I know we should have killed you when we had the chance. Nothing but a nuisance with a conscience that we didn't need."
Brad just like holds up a middle finger.
And then he shoots you in the head. All right, cool. So Seth, do you want to make a new character, or you just want to ride it out to the end here?
How much longer do you think it's reasonably going to go?
I'm hoping we can just get there and do the device, and then we're to end, right?
I don't know. I mean, if it feels like there's a point where I could play like just a character that doesn't necessarily need a sheet, we could do something like that.
The one thought I had is we did technically never see Greg die. And you are going right back where he was. So can we let's step back for just a moment here. Well, the one thing I am still not sure about in this game is who did actually sabotage your mission and why? Because I don't know why they would have even sent you here, really, if they were planning on killing you. Like, I don't really know what the point of any of this was. So help me figure out what was going on there. It could involve Greg being still alive somehow and have a secret or something.
They were trying to get rid of people who had any thought that they were trying to get rid of people who had any notion that this island existed.
Right, but then why didn't they just like shoot you?
Because that had to have plausible deniability.
Yeah. Just it's simpler to just let you die on the island, I suppose.
Yeah. And hey, okay. if they bring back dinosaurs, so much the better, or something like that.
Yeah. All right,
probably have to sign NDAs and stuff like that, so they don't talk. Like, hey, we'll bring you. And obviously, Brad had connection because it was his brother.
Yeah.
I don't know what M's original character had a connection to.
Terry Senior was the one who. Well, Terry Senior was the one who was going to like capture the dinosaurs in the first place, right? He
wasn't Terry Senior. That was just Terry.
I know.
That's not my dad.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm still not entirely sure on what their mission is here, besides just like dino capture and exploitation of the island. But maybe it doesn't matter. Okay, so you guys fly your helicopter to the ruins. You touch down somewhere. Maybe you find a precarious spot on top of one of the overgrown, like the ruins. And a couple of tree branches get whopped off by the by the blades, but you manage to touch down safely. Kurt, do you have any thoughts on like how TJ can just drive a helicopter or fly a helicopter?
A magic talking dinosaur spoke into my brain by touching its finger to my head. I don't have questions about anything anymore. I just kind of rolling with the punches.
He
Fair
brings
enough.
up a good point, Caleb.
Fair enough.
Like all bets are off the table.
So, I'm trying to think if there's any other thing that needs to happen before we just get down there and blow up this thing. Obviously, the island is like being destroyed, so we could easily have. Let's see here. I think you have officially figured out like who sabotaged your mission. Like this just seems obvious at this point. And then let's see here. Yep. Yeah, okay, all right. You guys get to the ruins, and you head down into the catacombs, right? You find that curtain of vines. The ruins have partially toppled because of the seismic activity, and you have to crawl through a couple of tight spaces going down into the ruins again, but you managed to make it there. I think at this point, Charlie's just, like, walking along with you, Jordan, right? And I think at one point, then Charlie just kind of runs off. Do you follow him?
Nah. Charlie can do whatever Charlie needs to do.
Sounds good.
He's
You
free
see,
to
you
make
kind of
Charlie
like
decisions.
wave off, like goodbye, old chap, right? Like, and you guys make your way down into, because you have to go back down where Kurt fell, right? And I do think it's going to be tough getting down there. So I think the chute that you went down originally is like collapsed, or much more dangerous than it was. So you have to like find a way to get down here. Kurt, let's have you roll maybe just do it to like use your knowledge to just like find the right way. You just roll already?
Yep, I got max.
Nice. Awesome. Congrats. Yeah, so Kurt, you're in the zone, right? You're like, oh, all right, well, if that chute collapsed, but given where I remember this thing was, there should be another staircase. Right here, right? And then you guys make your way down. TJ, I assume you're kind of intimidated by the creepy catacombs that you're going down.
I mean, didn't I already have to go down there by myself?
No, you were in the basement of the complex. This
Oh,
is the ruins. The old ancient ruins of the Bigfoot people. Remember?
yeah. I mean, I feel like this is kind of a place that I might have tried to explore.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys make it down towards the catacombs. And yeah, Kurt, you feel like this frequency starts to play in the back of your mind again. The back rattle at the back of your skull. And I think both of you get a splitting headache. And you feel like there's a purple glow at the edge of your vision even before you like turn the corner towards where you know this tomb is. You can tell that something like it's getting worse and the frequency is starting to mess with you too. What's your plan for dealing with that? You want to try to counter it somehow? Just press forward anyway?
Make earplugs. I want to jury rig some earplugs.
That's fine with me. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Choose one. you'll have to take apart something else. I'm not sure what that would be. It won't last long, or it'll take a while.
I take
Yeah.
off my shirt.
Yeah, it would have to be something useful. I'm assuming it won't last long is probably the option here, right?
Yeah.
Like it probably is just like by the time you get right next to it, it won't matter, right? It's just strong enough that
Yeah.
it's going to be overpowering. So you guys managed to get closer and closer and closer. He gives Kurt, you give TJ some like wax you happen to have somewhere, and you plug your ears. And TJ, eventually you get to a point where you can't go any further. Like it's just it's too much. You have a splitting headache. You're just 8 years old.
I'm only 8 years old. My ears can pick up a higher frequency. You're so old. You can't hear these higher frequencies that I can hear. My
Exactly.
8-year-old ears.
And then Kurt,
And I'm
you're gonna
ignoring
have
it because I can't pick up the higher frequencies of TJ complaining.
to... Sure. So Kurt, you're gonna have to press forward alone for right now. I think I would like you to roll. Hold on to your butt, maybe. No. Don't just roll. Give me a second here.
I want you to roll this, and I'm like, okay.
I know. I said maybe.
Okay.
I'm just taking a look at what makes the most sense here. Yeah, I think it would have to be hold on to your butt. I'll let you roll again though, because I wanted to make sure I figured out for sure what I wanted to do.
Okay.
All right, still a miss. You're seriously injured. I think you die, right?
I'm dead.
Okay, well, I guess your one last heroic act is setting off the bomb, right?
Yep, I guess so.
Kurt, you're pressing forward. The frequency is screaming in your ears. Your head just feels like it's gonna explode. You've already rigged this frequency bomb, right? And you're trying to get to this. It's just giant glowing purple gem in the side of this wall, and like everything about this, you feel yourself dying, right? Like blood is pouring down your nose. I think Zeno at the other end of the island is in his last dying breaths as like one of the military scientists is like looking him over, and he's just like, wow, what a fascinating specimen. I wonder what did to accomplish this. We have to dissect him and study him. The commander is standing over him and he's pointing a pistol towards the thing. He's like, well, you think a bullet in the brain will do it? And the scientist's like, wait, I need to study it more when it's alive. It'll die soon enough. It had too many wounds. Get your finger off the trigger, Commander. And then you see these flashes from its mind, right? And it speaks to you in its last moments, Kurt, and it says, in the end, we're both just a couple of old boys, aren't we? Doing what we have to do to save everyone. Thank you, friend. You say anything?
I don't have the power of telepathy, so I can't respond.
Fair enough. Yep. You send good vibes back, and then you press your frequency bomb to the thing, and it goes off, and suddenly everything is silent in the soundtrack. Your frequency makes the light turn bright white, and slowly the exposure on the shot is just turned all the way up until we see nothing but whiteness. Now let's have everyone make their roll, and we will epilogue from there, I think.
Whoa.
Right?
So we don't know if I survive or not?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, we all know TJ can fly a helicopter out, apparently, so...
Yeah, I was just going to get in the helicopter and go, excuse me, I'm 8, and I'm flying this helicopter.
Yeah. So let's take a look at what the finale moves give us exactly.
Where are they?
I don't. It might just be in my document here. Okay. Let's see. I think. Yeah. So there's a different move if you fail to escape the island or escape the island. I do have an idea here. What does the casualty move tell us? One final heroic act before you die. Okay. All right. Yep. So we'll start with you, TJ. TJ, you're the only one who's rolling safe at last. Go ahead. I wonder if is it on the sheet there? The end? Maybe not.
No, I don't think
No.
so.
Okay. You're gonna roll plus. There's a number of stories you've told over the course of your adventure, which is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll at 2d6 plus 2 for us.
10.
Nice. All right. On a 10 plus, describe something good that happens to or because of you as a result of your time on the island. So this is typically like epilogue, like how you change the world because of what you did here, right? So you can describe to us how you escaped the island. I think typically we would have had to roll for TJ to like pilot it. It didn't seem interesting at that point to do anything more. Describe to us how you get off the island and what something good that happens to or because of you as a result of your time on the island.
As I said, I got in the helicopter and I got on the radio and I went,
"Yep.
Excuse me, this is Chopper 3. My name is TJ and I'm 8. Where can I land the chopper off the island?"
And you get some like a woman's voice on the other end, like, are you okay? Like, how did you get this? What?
I'm flying the chopper. I just don't know where I should land off the island.
Okay, honey. Well, yeah. Go ahead and land on our carrier. We'll take care of you. Right.
And so I land on the carrier. I get taken in, and I just go, I don't know. That's just where I lived. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, that was just my house.
They're grilling you with questions like, what happened? How did you get this chopper?
I don't know. I just lived there, and then it seemed like bad stuff was happening, so I left. And now I'm here, and I don't think I have parents or a family or anything. I'm just kind of here. I'm 8. And I'd like to think that I get placed with a nice family and some extensive therapy. And I don't answer any of the questions that the U.S. military has for me. And then when I grow older...
You're not a snitch?
No, when I grow older, I expose the U.S. military for their misdeeds.
Right. Everyone thinks that like you've just like blocked all these memories out, and they're like, okay, he's harmless. Like, yeah, just put him in the system.
I write a tell-all memoir.
Yeah, exactly. You expose this. Like,
I get interviewed on 60 Minutes by Barbara Walters. It's really exciting stuff.
That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Kurt, do you want to roll 2d6 plus the number of stories you've told? And you're going to roll on never to return that move. I'll tell you what happens. Oh my gosh. 16.
Dang.
Okay.
I have a max 17.
Choose one player to say a positive impact you had on the world.
Choose one player to say that I had a positive impact.
No, to say what positive impact you had on the world. It says choose one player to say a positive impact you had on the world. They get to decide what that impact was, basically.
Well, TJ's the only one alive.
Emily?
Obviously, in my memoir and my thorough interviews, I tell about Kurt and how he sacrificed himself to save us all from a world being overrun by these dinosaurs, and specifically sacrificed himself to save me and my precious little 8-year-old ears.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of tell about all of his genius things that he jerry-rigged on the island, and how he was a hero with a capital H, and also talked to dinosaurs and wrote a dinosaur really cool. And I commissioned a big portrait of him with his hat going like, woo! on
Yep.
X, and it's really large, and it's hanging in the foyer of some place really fancy.
Nice. And I like to think that as part of our epilogue here, right, Kurt was left behind. Doesn't actually mean. I would like to think that like Kurt's ending is not just being dead. I think he wakes up at some point after this happens, and you have just kind of destroyed the island by locking it back in time forever. It will never appear again. You're stuck on this island forever. But what happened is at the last moment you were like collapsed. Your body had collapsed in front of this device, and then we see a flock of Compsognathuses come and drag you away to safety before you succumb to its effects. And then you live on the island in harmony with the dinosaurs for the rest of your days. What does that look like, Jordan?
It looks like I'm the Dinosaur King.
Oh!
He
Full
is
circle.
the Dinosaur King.
Amazing. That was my plan all along. As soon as I had Charlie run off, is that he was like the flock was going to show up to help you at the last moment. There you go. Seth, let's have you roll on. Let's roll for Brad first.
Does M need to roll for her other character?
Yeah, we'll have her roll too. But let's go backwards in time. So Brad, go ahead and roll for Brad.
2d6 plus 3?
2d6 plus whatever your stories were. Yep.
11?
All right, full hit. All right, same thing. Choose one player to say a positive impact you had on the world.
Jordan, what positive impact did Brad have on the world?
Brad's positive impact on the world was uncovering the conspiracy, figuring out there was a reason you were actually sent there, and your impact, because you didn't fulfill your mission as they intended, you unknowingly prevented the US military from succeeding in there, and delayed their plans long enough that we were actually able to make this a reality.
Yeah, I'd like to think that too. We get a moment, like a kind of flashback moment, where Brad is like facing down some soldiers, and he's like, "I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You will not hurt these people." And we see a scared TJ huddled with his parents, in some room with like the door partially ajar. And TJ didn't remember this and wouldn't maybe even recognize Brad if he had. But like we just get that like flash of like Brad standing up to the U.S. military in that moment, and that's one of the reasons that TJ was still alive by the time you guys showed up at the island. All right, let's roll for Terry. 2d6 plus whatever stories Terry told.
Let me go see. 2. Okay. I think this is going to be bad.
Eventually, someone's going to have to fail this. Nope. It won't be today.
Wow.
All right, same thing. Choose one player to say a positive impact you had on the world.
Well, I think it's got to be... Oh, it's got to be Brad. My Bigfoot man.
Right, yeah.
Trying to remember Terry. So Terry...
Terry just was not very smart. Hunted Bigfoot with all of his heart.
If Terry hadn't led them on the path, it wouldn't have led to... I mean, honestly, it wouldn't have led to Brad going and meeting up with him and then leading to TJ getting off the island.
Mm-hmm. That's true. All these little connections. It's all really about TJ in the end. Getting off his island. And then last but not least, we got poor Greg, our first casualty. How many stories did he get to tell?
2.
All right, go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 2. All right, you still got a 7. That's close.
Oh, yeah,
on a 7 and 9, choose one player to say what they'll remember about you. TJ never met...
Yeah, I don't think he will be remembered. No. Oh, we established that we've established that Kurt is the Dinosaur King now. So what will Kurt remember about him?
Oh, there you go.
Kurt will remember. Okay, now help me out. This was the one that. No, it was Emily's character that was obsessed with.
Love it how he
Bigfoot.
says the one. Like there have been so many deaths.
Yeah. So it was okay.
I'm okay, Jordan, if you want to say that Greg still survived somehow and you managed to find him and induct him into your dinosaur empire.
Yes, Greg will be my slave. No, I'm just kidding. A dinosaur king needs a dinosaur subject.
Poor Greg.
No, I think Greg becomes like the doctor scientist here to like help keep all like he's the dino veterinarian.
Yeah, and like with the device gone, the dinosaurs are going back to normal, right? They're animals again.
Yep.
And obviously there are survivors on this island too that like didn't make it off before it got locked forever in stasis. But yeah, like you guys have a dinotopia. I suppose.
All of ourselves, and we are not disturbed by the government.
True. Very, very true. All right. Well, there you go. That is our game of Escape from Dino Island. I had a blast. I had a lot of fun. It was a little weird. Yeah.
I was going to say, this is probably one of the weirder ones we've played.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Yeah, me too. Definitely a fun game. Like it seems it's leaning very hard into all of these tropes and does one thing specifically. Which is, makes sense that it's made to be 1 to 2 sessions, but I didn't really feel that like the 4 sessions we got out of it were too much. It feels like we got a good handle on the system and had a good time telling a fun dinosaur story. Thanks for playing, guys. I had a good time.
Yeah.
The last thing we see is, of course, the obligatory like dinosaur roars over the island as like we get a zoom out shot, but it's just at first we think it's going to be we see a big dinosaur foot land on a rock, but then as soon as we zoom out far enough, we realize it's just little Charlie, and the big thump that originally came when the footstep went down turns into a as right as he roars for the camera, and then we and then Kurt shows up. He's like, "Oh, get away from here!" Chases him off, and then we end there. All right, I think that's it from us here. Thanks for playing, guys, and thank you for watching.
Yeah.
We're out.
Dinosaur King
is what we're gonna be. We're gonna make your move. Dinosaur King is your destiny now. We're gonna make your move. I don't remember any of the rest of the lyrics to that song, so
That's okay. Still more than I remembered. So,
all right, goodbye for real.